Put on your thinking caps and get ready to discover the main culprit. I'm Nico Song, and today I'll be teaching you how to play SDG, a Violator's Mystery. This social deduction game requires 4 to 12 investigators who must identify the means of violation and key evidence in order to identify the violator of sustainable development goal. But be careful, one of these investigators is actually the violator, and they're not alone. The culprit has an accomplice too, and they'll do whatever it takes to mislead the real investigators into choosing the wrong person. Thankfully, there's a forensic scientist who will guide the investigators into uncovering the truth. The catch? The forensic scientist can't talk.
Now here's how you set it up. Shuffle the means of violation cards and put 4 cards in a face-up position. Do the same for the key evidence cards. Each player will then get an ID card which they will use when they are ready to solve the case. Next, draw the SDG violated tile and the location of the case tile. Draw 4 other seed tiles. Make sure you keep the markers nearby. The role of each player will be chosen by a randomly dealt card. Make sure no one sees your card unless you're the forensic scientist. The forensic scientist will return his badges and cards to fulfill his role as a guide to the rest of the players. The forensic scientist will be the one who will use the markers and place them on the clue tiles. Once again, I'd like to repeat, the forensic scientist is not allowed to talk or even gesture clues to the players. The next role is the violator. You must do everything you can to not get caught by the wicked deed. The recommended route for you is to shift your blame on other investigators. If the violator isn't expected, he or she wins. The investigators need to summon their detective persona by carefully deducting all the players. All of them must be careful not to get deceived by the hidden violator. In order to win, he or she must choose the right violator, the right means of violation, and the right evidence before the game ends. The investigators will get 1 ID card per investigator, which symbolizes their one shot at attempting to solve the case. If the players fail, they can still play, but they won't get another guess, so make it count. The accomplice knows who the violator is, as well as the solution to the case. The accomplice should help the violator not be caught by the investigators. It must lead the investigators to the wrong violator, as both accomplice and violator win if the violator gets away with the case. The witness is an investigator who has witnessed the culprits leaving the crime scene. They have no way of knowing which is the violator from the accomplice, and they do not know how the case was committed. If the violator is arrested but can identify the witness is considered to be killed, allowing the violator and the accomplice to get away with the crime and win the game. The game can be played by 4 to 12 players. For 4 players, you need 1 forensic scientist, 1 violator, and 2 investigators. For 5 players, just add another investigator. For 6 players, get rid of 1 investigator and add in accomplice and a witness. For 6 and above, just keep adding more investigators. The players should display their cards facing up with the text and graphics showing so that the other players can see them. All players should take a moment to take a look at all of the cards so they could know the key evidence cards and the means of violation cards. The graphics on the clue cards and means cards should not be used as reference. Use your imagination for the text to know how to investigate the case.
Now that everyone has seen all of the cards, the forensic scientist will then ask everyone to close their eyes. Once everyone has their eyes closed, the forensic scientist will ask the violator to open their eyes. Once the violator's eyes are open, he will choose 1 means of violation card and 1 key evidence card. Out of all his 8 cards, they can choose any of the 2. Next, the forensic scientist will ask, accomplice, open your eyes. Once the accomplice has opened their eyes, he or she and the violator will get to know each other. Once they're done pointing and choosing their means of violation and key evidence cards, the forensic scientist will then ask the witness, open your eyes. The witness will get to see who the violator and the accomplice is without knowing who is who. Once that is done, forensic scientists will ask everyone, open your eyes. And that is when the first phase begins.
Next, the forensic scientist would start marking the scene tiles. He would begin with the SDG violated card, which he would think best suits how the cards that the violator described would best explain the case. Next, he would choose a location of the case, and then 4 of the random scene tiles.
Once that all of the markers are placed, this is when every player gets to decide how to present their opinions on the case. Forensic scientist will start from his left, and this player will present their opinion, and it will go around until the next round.
After the first round is done, the forensic scientist gets to choose one scene tile that he thinks is irrelevant and changes the marker on it. Once this has happened, another round begins.
This process will be repeated for 3 times, meaning 3 rounds of presentation and evidence collection. Any player can present their ideas at any time of the game, but whenever they make a guess, they have to present 4 things. First, they have to choose a player, a key evidence card, and a means of violation card, and their ID. If one of those 3 things is wrong, the forensic scientist will say no and take their ID. The player who made a wrong guess can still present their ideas, but they could no longer make a guess. The violator and the accomplice get one last chance to guess who the witness is. If the witness they guessed is right, the witness gets killed and the violator and the accomplice wins. If they guess wrong, they get sent to jail and justice wins again. And that's how you play SDG, a violator's mystery. You think you got what it takes? Let's see.